Alright, so I think I had a long enough vacation of FNAF lore because FNAF lore can literally drive a man insane. So let's jump into it. I'm not ready for it, but I'm willing. Crying Child. He's the Mimic. Golden Freddy is Fiona. No, not F10N4 Fiona or M1 Fiona. That's Edwin Murray's wife's spirit that died in Fall Fest. Now, if you don't get how I got to that point, well, let me explain. In Security Breach, we get logs from Fiona to Edwin saying that she will be going to Fall Fest to go check up on the animatronics to make sure that they will not be malfunctioning or anything. Excuses, quotation marks around excuses. And I believe we misread Fiona's message or misunderstood her person per se. I believe she is a lot smarter and caught on to things that no one else did before. Because according to the audio logs that we can listen to in Secret of the Mimic, we find out that Edwin Murray was still under the impression that he and Fazbear Entertainment owners, that would be William and Henry, that Henry is a little bit of a sketchy part, but definitely William, they were still friends. And he just ends up figuring out and starts speculating that they are just using him, and he's not very fond of that. There's an audio log that you can get on the game in the returns area where it just solidifies my belief that Fiona was a lot quicker to catch on to this than Edwin Murray himself.
What the hell was that? They treat me like some contractor to crack a whip at. Oh, Fiona was right. They don't think of me as a friend anymore. This is the last project I ever do for them.
There it is.
Fiona was right. They don't think of me as a friend anymore.
This simple quote, all on its own, already proves that Fiona was a lot quicker to catch up on things than anyone else. And it also proves that she is caring and wary about things. We know that Edwin was very dismissive of Fiona's worries, but it doesn't explain why he still let her go. What does explain why he let her go to Fall Fest is, well, he just never got a chance to tell her not to go. Take a listen to this message.
Ed, I hope this message reaches you as soon as you get a break. I have to go help the Fall Fest crew, just for a few days until the installation is finished. It's hard to explain. I just have this terrible feeling like I need to be there so nothing goes wrong. Just in case. Trisha will babysit David while I'm gone. I love you both, and I'll be back next week.
She hopes that the message reaches him. Now, this is just a clear indication that Edwin was clearly too busy to pay attention to his own wife. So she couldn't really tell him in person to say that, hey, I'm going to go to the Fall Fest. If she was able to do that, then maybe he would have said, like, hey, no, don't go. But nah, that just isn't the turn of events. She also mentions that she has a terrible feeling and it's hard to explain. The reason why I would think she would use those words in particular is, yes, Edwin was very dismissive of Fiona's claims, but she also knew that there was something sketchy going on with William, and William, of course, was part of Fazbear Entertainment at this time. So she went to Fall Fest. That was a Fazbear thing, probably a collaboration with Murray's Mansion because they were checking up on the machines and stuff. That's a whole story on its own, not important here. So she goes there, finds something out. William discovers that she now knows something and attacks her, probably tries to stop her. She ends up dying. That's where Willie old boy gets his murder streak and as well the habit of stuffing people into his suit. We do know that Fredbear, the original Golden Freddy suit, was made to be worn by a human and an endoskeleton. So it would be possible to hide the body he just killed in the suit and drag it away. Even we don't know if the fire was happening at that same time, because William does survive. Everybody else, Fiona specifically, does not. William does drag the suit away, brings it back. It's just stored away now. We know that William, Henry, and the 2 golden suits do survive the fire. And I have a very strong feeling that they do use those suits at Fall Fest because it is Fazbear, and you're going to need to have your mascot perform at an event that is associated with your name. Now, before we get too deep into this, let's just get this point out of the way. There's 2 different Golden Freddy suits. Yes, 2 Golden Freddys. If we look at the mini games that we get in F4, we would see the crying child being blocked by an employee wearing the Golden Fredbear suit. Now, if you go to the left side of the screen, you would also see the shadow of Fredbear and Spring Bonnie on stage performing as animatronics. How can there be a Fredbear on stage, but there's also at the same time a Fredbear and later a Spring Bonnie that is being worn by employees? The only thing that can explain this is that there are 2 different suits of each character. Heck, there could have been even more than just 2 characters. As of now, I have personally counted 3. In Ultimate Custom Night, we can see the portrait of Golden Freddy be that of Withered Golden Freddy. When he appears in your office, it is of course Withered Golden Freddy. When he jump scares you, we get Fredbear, not normal Golden Freddy. The purple bow tie and the purple hat is a very clear sign that that is the Fredbear. And then there is the cutscene that we see the Golden Freddy that we get in F1. Do note that Scott Cawthon is very able to reuse old assets and old models. So for there to be 3 different variants of this animatronic has to be there for a reason. He's able to use the first FNAF game's animatronics and retexture them to use them in F3, but yet he chooses to use all 3 models in Ultimate Custom Night. There is 3 different variants of Golden Freddy in Ultimate Custom Night, but the portraits only show 1 Golden Freddy. As for which one of the suits is the one that has the vengeful spirit in it, or the 2 spirits in them, I would say the obvious answer would be Withered Golden Freddy. If we look to the movie, the first Five Nights at Freddy's movie, we would see that Scott, the main writer and also our overseer of how the movie is supposed to be played out and how everything should look, I believe he intentionally put Withered Golden Freddy as an option in the movie to show us that that is the Golden Freddy suit that has the vengeful and the most powerful and the 2 souls in it. If we look closely, there is a few creators who has pointed out that there is a drawing in the wall in Five Nights at Freddy's location where we can see that Golden Freddy's kid has its face plastered over. Like, there was originally some other face there, and then there is just another cutout to redraw a new face. I believe that is an intentional sign to show us that this is the animatronic with 2 spirits in it. One that cannot see, because the one that can see is now covering the original's face. That, I believe, is an homage to the Stitch Wraith stories that we get in the Fazbear Frights books. That is split up in between all of the books right at the end. We learn that the 2 spirits possessing the Stitch Wraith, one cannot see and the other one can. But I will get into the Stitch Wraith and the story of how he is relevant to the entire series on its own video or in any other video. Just not here. I'm talking about Golden Freddy specifically. So let's get back to the point. And I want to start with the movie. You see, I believe Scott intentionally put William Afton as the creator and owner of Fazbear in the movie because well, he was the first guy involved with Fazbear Entertainment. As we learn in Secret of the Mimic, William Afton already worked for Fazbear Entertainment. Don't know if he was the owner or just an employee. Now, further details on that, it's worth looking deeper into, but it's not currently relevant to this video. I'm not going to waste my brain cells. Not today! So, we know that William is not beyond killing adults. So the idea of William killing Fiona is not that far-fetched, knowing that in the movie, Scott specifically started the movie off with an adult security guard being killed by a contraption that clearly does not look as if it is built by a bunch of machines. That clearly looks man-made. If we look to the movie's visual novel, yes, there is a book about the movie. Scott really likes his books nowadays. It says in the book that it looks man-made. It's clearly not something that the machines would make. And now we know Scott loves to point out things that needs to be pointed out. It's Scott. He needs to clear things up. Either way, William clearly has built that contraption to kill adults. And as MatPat has theorized, it is a remnant extracting machine. Now, he probably found out that you can extract remnants, motions, the whole thing that makes these machines alive and gives them strength, and that can come from children or adults. Children is just a little bit easier to kill, because as we see in the movie, not many people would want to be a night guard where every other night guard has been killed, so yay. Another little detail that I like about the movie is that Mike does not see Golden Freddy, only Abby. I don't know about Vanessa. William will definitely know about Golden Freddy. He has the golden bunny suit, so of course. But Mike doesn't see Golden Freddy, the animatronic. He does, however, see the spirit, and the spirit is communicating to him. With him. However. Almost the same as in the games. We don't see Golden Freddy immediately, but we do get signs that he is trying to communicate with us in the first game and in the second game. There are signs that he is trying to communicate with us, especially number 1, where the "it's me" sign pops up. That feels more like a, hey, I'm in your head, I can manipulate what you see, what you think. So, the Golden Freddy that we see in the office, I don't think is actually there. I don't think Golden Freddy ever existed in these locations as we see them in the game. Even in the movie, it is shown that Golden Freddy only appears to come and fetch Abby. In the rest of the movie, he's not really there. The animatronic, that is. His spirit is clearly there. If we look back at Help Wanted, the VR game, the first one, we learn that there is a rogue indie development, not Scotty, he just put his own profile there for gags. But we learn that there is a rogue indie developer that created these games. And Fazbear Entertainment wasn't very happy with that, so they just recreated everything. And in the recreation, there is one thing that's different. Golden Freddy does not show up. Now you would think if they are going to recreate a game of the original game, they would add the one character that's an Easter egg. Everything else is the same, except Golden Freddy. We also learn that it isn't a rogue indie developer. Fazbear Entertainment actually hired this guy. And now why I think this guy ended up adding Golden Freddy to the games is, as we see in the movie, Golden Freddy never shows himself physically, but he does manipulate Mike's dreams, his thoughts. He can show him things and make him feel and believe things. So why not would it be possible to tell this indie developer that, hey, I'm also here. Don't forget me. I can make you see things. This is how it was. This is the story. Da. Fazbear Entertainment didn't really like that this story now came out. Because, as I said in my previous video, Fazbear Entertainment probably didn't even know much about the actual real story. Turned out it was too much gruesome than they thought. And it's just, let's redo it. Their entire... Put it in a box and rephrase. Or rebrand, or anything else. That's Fazbear Entertainment for you. All brains, no smarts. The one smart thing that came out of this entire series is Scott's wonderful quote. 4 games, 1 story. Now, if you pay attention to the first 4 games from F1, 2, 3, and 4, you'll notice that those are the only games that Golden Freddy appears in. Not in sister location F5 or in F6 Pizza Simulator. He does, however, show up in Ultimate Custom Night. Ultimate Custom Night being the eternal torture that William Afton is now suffering in. So, of course, he will know about Golden Freddy. And I believe Golden Freddy to have 3 different ways of appearing in that game because it is the 3 different souls during the 3 different time periods where they were stuffed into the suit. We know Fazbear Entertainment reuses suits and repurpose old parts. Like they did tear up the weathered animatronics to try and build the toy animatronics, but it just never ended up being completed, so they just started from scratch. So we know that Freddy Fazbear's employees likes to reuse stuff, so of course the Golden Fredbear suit would change appearances. And the souls would be attached to the appearance that it appeared as when they were stuffed and killed and put into the suit and possessed it. So, Fiona would be Fredbear. The vengeful spirit would be Withered Golden Freddy. And the boy who cannot see or cannot really do anything is the normal Golden Freddy, the one, that we see in F1. The reason why the quote 4 games, 1 story is important, knowing that Scott probably already knew that he was going to make another game, being F5, sister location, I think he let out that quote as to say that this is not exactly the experience of Michael. Why he ended up using the name Mike Schmidt wasn't exactly as an alias, but as a way to cover up the name he found lost to be working there, being Michael Afton. We do know that Michael is the one partaking in sister location, as per the signs, with the wonderful Mike sticker on the hand unit. Ooh, I don't like that guy. Let's not forget about the speech that he specifically gives to his father. If you don't know which one, I will play you a sped up version.
Father, it's me, Michael. I did it. I found it. It was right where you said it would be. They were all there. They didn't recognize me at first, but then they thought I was you. And I found her. I put her back together, just like you asked me to. She's free now. But something is wrong with me. I should be dead, but I'm not. I've been living in shadows. There is only one thing left for me to do now. I'm going to come find you. I'm going to come find you.
But I think he covered it up. It's like me wanting to say that there was create a horror game or of a kitchen burning down because something bad happened and the owner was not very happy. Instead of saying Gordon Ramsay's kitchen, I would say Gordon Rumble's kitchen, just to avoid giving obvious clarification to who was actually there, to not get a lawsuit or anything happening to him. But still, if the game does not do well, luckily they can just ignore the game, or they can just try and recreate it to a more suitable way, as Fazbear Entertainment did do. So the 4 games but 1 story was actually just how and what the game developer saw, what he found out. He didn't know all the information, but I believe Fazbear Entertainment did at least give him some details. And now how I believe that the Golden Freddy soul, especially the vengeful spirit, latched on to the game developer is if we look at Help Wanted 2, the VR game, we see that we are in the F6 location and we put on a mask and then everything is all of a sudden not burnt down, broken or anything. It's actually fully repaired and how they want everything to look as. We know that VR 2, Help Wanted 2, takes place before Security Breach, and that would make sense why everything would then look nice and hunky-dory in the VR world, but in reality, he is still in the F6 location. Now, if he is there, we know that in the F6 game, all the spirits got together and they stayed there. They burnt down and molded and melted, forming a wonderful little spaghetti boy, Tangle. So, it is not that hard to believe that Tangle was somewhere on the premises and his soul just latched onto the game developer while he was busy making the game. We do know Fazbear Entertainment hired this guy, and now sitting from home would be nice, but every now and then you need to go to the place to make sure you're getting details correct. So why not latch on to him when he's there? It just makes sense. What I find to explain why Sister Location is so severely different in style and manner of gameplay is because it is not made by the game developer. There is a reason why Scott would say 4 games, 1 story, because it is 1 story told by 1 man. The 5th one, Sister Location, was originally created by someone else or Fazbear Entertainment themselves. We don't know exactly, and at this point it's not that much important. Not right now, at least. That is why we don't get any idea or hints or glimpses to Golden Freddy. We do, however, after the secret little ending thingy that you get in the custom night, whatever, you get this speech from Mike. I played it earlier. And he's talking directly to Springtrap. Springtrap is then technically in Five Nights at Freddy's Sister Location. So where would Golden Freddy be? Nowhere. Because Fazbear Entertainment doesn't know about Golden Freddy. They have created characters like Monty and Roxy from characters and blueprints that originally existed in that very location thanks to Murray's Mansion. If you know about the Fazburger theory, where each location is built on top of the other, there is clear signs that there is burnt up mascot suits from Murray's Mansion still left over. There could be character designs as well. Many other things. They would know about Springtrap because he was there. As we know in the interview that Scott Cawthon did with Darko, he said that he originally just wanted Springtrap to lay there, just to be a prop, not to be interactable. You should be able to just see him through a crack or something. And now that would make sense if Springtrap was to be in Security Breach. Fazbear Entertainment would have known about Springtrap in the end, but it never mentioned Golden Freddy. Fazbear Entertainment doesn't have any other memorabilia about Golden Freddy, but they do have fancy things and the leftover suits of the main 4 animatronics, but not Golden Freddy. It could be that Golden Freddy was gotten rid of, that maybe Afton really didn't like that the Golden Freddy suit, or the Vengeful Spirit more specifically, was powerful enough to try and haunt him and hurt him. So he probably got rid of the suit or put it in a different location. We don't know that. All that we do know is that Fazbear Entertainment doesn't know about Golden Freddy. That is why they didn't put that animatronic in any of the recreation games that they recreated of the first original games. It's because they never found that animatronic, so it would not make sense to put it in a game that's now definitely supposed to go well for them, for their name, as a recreation and a rebrand. They never found it, there's no evidence of it, so people would start to question where that animatronic is. And if in the Pizzaplex they do not see signs of a golden bear, people are going to start asking questions. Of course, you don't want to see a yellow bunny suit, because the story is obvious. It got burnt in F3. So people won't ask much of a question there if that is... You just have to say that and people will believe that. You don't have to continuously go to F6. Oh no, they still survived. Nah. Golden Freddy never burned. He never disappeared. He was never broken. Not even torn apart. If you see in the mini games, it's only the main 4 and not Golden Freddy that gets torn apart. So where is he? People will ask questions, and Fazbear Entertainment does not like questions. Golden Freddy is more a spirit that shows himself in the form of the golden bear now, because that is the only thing that they can remember. We know that the kids do not know the face of the killer. They just attack anyone that could be or resemble them. So it makes sense that the reason why the spirits are representing themselves as these 3 different golden bear variations is that they just don't remember how they looked like before. This is their new body, this is their new form, this is their life for the rest of eternity. That's Golden Freddy. It's a spirit that is haunting the Pizzaplex now, and has been haunting that very location for years. There's nothing more to it. But don't worry, I didn't forget how I started off this intro, saying that the crying child is the mimic. Yes, I do believe that crying child is the mimic, because, well, Afton has humanoid masks sitting in the control room in F5, says the location. Kinda would make sense with the illusion discs that he will be capable of making a robot look like an actual child, alongside a shell. Taking proof and evidence from the trilogy books. And again, part of the trilogy books, we do know that the Charlie bot, the one that now looks like Baby or Eleanor, however, the bot that works for Afton, is able to disguise herself in this humanoid shape, and as well with the illusion disc can look purely human. And it is an Afton creation, because it's clearly said in the book that the chip causing the hallucinations and disguising thingamajiggy is Afton Robotics. So there's no disagreeing there. I do think William did actually do something like that in the game universe. And if we also see that in the books, the children do not see William as human. They see him as the bunny. If we see also in the movie, the children do not see William as the enemy. They saw him as a friend until something changed the drawings that is on the wall. I believe something similar must have happened that caused the spirits to eventually want to attack William. Maybe see him attacking the animatronics, tearing them apart, because there was something about that. Something must have switched. I like that the movie used drawings and pictures as a way to mind control the kids. Saying that the kids are under William's control, I do believe that is still somewhat the case here, but I will get into that in another video. For now, the reason why Golden Freddy ended up killing the crying child, well, kill said very loosely there, is because that is the animatronic that Fiona was possessing. Now, she would of course recognize someone that was very close to her child, maybe mimicked him, the programming and other stuff. I believe, let's just get this point out. Secret of the Mimic. I believe the ending in David's room to be the true ending. It just would make sense because the place isn't burnt down, it's only destroyed. Now, if the place was burnt down, there would have been signs in the tunnel of fire, but there's not. It's just plain dust and rubble and stuff just broken. No fire. If the place burned down, or if the mimic was around, how would Fazbear Entertainment ended up getting the Maxis machine? That wouldn't make much sense. But they do get the Maxis machine, meaning that the mimic shouldn't be around or the place did not burn down. And they do not know about the mimic. If they did, it would have been used all over. It would have been advanced, or some signs and rumors would have been going around that there was a killing machine that is capable of mimicking behavior, but that does not exist. Not in an exact pure form. I will talk further about the books deeper when I get to them. But for now, none of those actually do happen. What does happen is that Murray's mansion is free to be explored and everything to be taken and repossessed. Therefore, the Maxis machine is taken, all the character suits and drawings and blueprints and all that is taken and reused. It makes sense that they would reuse it. So the ending in David's room would be the one that ended up happening. Afton then found the mimic, tried to redo what Murray did with the kid's story, and Fiona saw all of this take place, was not happy, wanted to get her revenge on Afton, saw her opportunity to jump down on it, destroy it, break it. Like, wasn't that big of a revenge, but still, it would have left a mark on Afton. So, yeah, that's the bite. But I will talk more about the crying child and who, what, and how everything happened there in its own video. So now, this was Golden Freddy. The story behind him and how he actually never existed. Mostly just in spirit form, and as a way to say, hey, I exist as well, don't forget about me. This is basically Golden Freddy's story, and the whole reasoning in why he exists in the franchise, and not further, only in the beginning, but not in the end. I hope you guys enjoy this. Until next time.